Novata Solutions, where data becomes knowledge. Maximizing the business value of your employees. The need for knowledge. Bottom line, business drivers create a compelling need to increase knowledge throughout your organization. Competition for sophisticated customers. Proliferation of enterprise systems. Changing business environments. New e-business initiatives. Mergers and acquisitions. Employee turnover. Does your organization have one or more of the following issues? Employee work schedules and vacation or leave administration. Wage or salary payments. The legal rights of employees such as unemployment compensation, labor laws, work restrictions, etc. Adherence to discrimination guidelines. Having an effective and efficient hiring process. Poor documentation as it pertains to employee processes and procedures. No standard in regards to HR policies and procedures. Excessive paperwork to support the organization's HR functions. HR functions not being coordinated. Employee leave. A mid-sized business owner who employs just over 50 workers refuses to give unpaid leave to an employee who requests time off to care for a seriously ill parent. However, the employee has been with the company for 5 years and has worked more than the required 1,250 hours over the previous 12 months. Consequences. The employee files a complaint with the governing body which leads to an investigation and sanctions, as well as a very expensive employee lawsuit. Novata Solution. The work schedule time management module manages the various leave categories for the organization in regards to leave accruals, leave days or hours taken and leave days or hours remaining, providing an audit trail for both the employee and the employer. For the employee, a record is maintained to confirm the submission of a request for leave together with either an acceptance or a rejection by the employer of the leave request. Once the leave is taken, timesheets are submitted to indicate how many days or hours of leave were taken. The issue being that the number of days or hours requested may not be the actual days or hours taken for the leave. Issues with wage payment. A small business owner works the hourly, non-exempt employees nearly 50 hours each week, but only pays them for 40 hours. A competing business owner also works the employees 50 hours each week, and although the owner pays them for 50 hours, the owner only pays the regular straight time rate rather than incorporating any overtime pay. Consequences. Several employees file complaints, which in turn leads to audits of ALL payroll records. Both employers are found to be non-compliant. One is required to repay 2 years of back pay, while the other is required to repay 3 years of back pay because it was determined that the violations were knowingly and willfully committed. Novata Solution. The work schedule time management module provides an audit trail for the hours worked for each hourly employee through the submission of timesheets which record the number of hours worked per day by the hourly employee. These timesheets are submitted for approval by management, or if there is an issue with these timesheets, the hourly worker and their manager would correct the number of hours worked. For purposes of this issue, formalized records would exist regarding the number of hours worked per employee per week. Based upon the rules for overtime, these timesheets would record standard working hours and overtime hours which can be processed by the Novata payroll module. Employee rights. To demonstrate, we will assume a company terminates an employee for work-related misconduct. However, the company never provided the employee with an employee handbook, so the employee never signed a policy and procedure acknowledgement. In addition, the company neglected to maintain a written file of the employee's misconduct, so there is no documentation of the employee's disciplinary history. Consequences. The HRMS appraisal module provides the capability of designating new employees' specific assignments to be completed by a specific date. In this example, a new employee would be given an assignment to review the employee handbook and provide acknowledgement to their supervisor that such a review was completed. Issues with discrimination. An owner of a mid-sized construction company repeatedly overlooks a proven incapable female employee for promotion. Consequences. The woman files a complaint, and the subsequent investigation reveals that the employer has a history of only promoting men and has no legitimate business reasons for not promoting her. The company is forced to pay the female employee a large settlement to avoid a potentially more costly lawsuit. Nevada solution. The HRMS appraisal module provides a formalized appraisal for each employee within the organization, which contains an evaluation on how the employee performs the responsibilities for their specific job position. This system provides the option for only the supervisor to evaluate the employee, or both the supervisor and the employee to provide their individual evaluations. Regardless of the appraisal process chosen, the supervisor and the employee would then meet to discuss the appraisal results with the objective of resolving any differences. Through the use of the appraisal process, formalized results can be provided regarding the performance of an employee and the impact their performance has on their potential for promotions. This process will enable the organization to objectively evaluate performance for the purpose of promotion or for the action to dismiss the employee. Issues with hiring. During a job interview, an owner of a small business asks the applicant if he has children. The applicant is not hired, and he assumes it is because he responded that he has 3 small children. Consequences. The applicant files a complaint and ultimately a suit against the business. The business owner is forced to pay extensive legal fees to defend against the suit. Nevada solution. The HRMS applicant tracking module provides a formalized process to evaluate the applications submitted for a job opening in the organization. Through the initial screening provided by a hiring matrix, a high-level screening of candidates based upon experience, areas of expertise, certifications, training courses is provided. Those candidates which are identified by the hiring matrix then go through an extensive reference checking process, which includes references having the option to actually formally evaluate a candidate who has provided them as a reference. In addition, a formalized interview process is provided in which specific skills and competencies required for the position are provided to the hiring interviewer to discuss with the applicant. This multi-phase process, with the objective of hiring the most qualified person, is formally documented and readily available to dispute any claims from applicants who believe they were treated unfairly in the applicant processing. Issues with poor documentation. Not having adequate employee records makes a company vulnerable to litigation and inspection by state and federal regulators. 1. A simple solution is to digitize the employee documents. 2. Stay informed of federal and state laws and make sure that to stay on top of the most recent updates to compliance laws and benefit regulations. 3. Ignoring potential workplace litigation issues such as harassment, discrimination, and wrongful termination can result in lawsuits, which can be an expensive process for a small business. 4. Make sure your employee handbook, policies, procedures, benefits, and payroll information are consistently updated. Consequences. 2 applicants have similar backgrounds and experience, having come from the same company. Following interviews, the company hires the second applicant, who is 10 years younger than the first. The original applicant at 64, convinced he has suffered age discrimination, files a complaint with the appropriate oversight organization's Nevada solution. The Nevada HRMS ensures that employees stay updated on an organization policies and procedures through a formalized assignment process for each employee to review company policies and procedures and acknowledge such a review on a company-designated interval. Issues with policies and procedures follow with no qualified guidance. For a small to medium-sized business, the human resource department is usually one person who performs many diverse functions. This HR generalist may be responsible for compensation and benefits, HR management, labor relations, legal issues, staffing, HRIS, training and much more. Thorough independent research often falls into the nights and weekends environment and is both costly and time-consuming. Proven HR knowledge and guidance are crucial given the constant presence and oversight of government entities. Consequences. Controversy erupts when an hourly worker, stationed at an independent work site, on third shift feels he has been shorted overtime pay. He indicates his boss told him he would be paid time and a half after 8 hours, but his actual check stub indicates time and a half after 40 hours. The employee files a complaint with the appropriate oversight organizations. Novata solution. The HRMS automates the processes in the traditional employee life cycle, which eliminates having multiple policies and procedures since they are performed in a consistent manner. In essence, the HR person acts as more of an orchestrator who structures the process framework which employees and managers should use in their daily routines. The HRMS likewise provides an automated environment which ensures compliance on issues such as discrimination, harassment, and staffing. Issues with paperwork administration results in substantial errors. With every new hire comes a mountain of paperwork. If a company does and have access to online services and must deal with hard copies, errors can multiply. Similarly, what happens when an employee enrolls in benefits? Payroll must ensure that the adequate deductions are made. When an employee undergoes a life status change and alters his or her benefit selections, benefits and payroll must be adjusted accordingly and within the legally required time frame. All of these administrative processes tend to live in different parts of the organization, and yet they are absolutely dependent upon one another. When information is transferred from one HR process to another, there is a chance of error. Consequences. An employee finds they need to use one of the company-provided benefits. After seeing the local optician for a new prescription, he finds he is presented a bill even though he is a member of your optical plan. He is told he failed to sign up in time and must wait another year. Novata solution. The Novata HRMS maintains all the data associated with an employee in a centralized database which includes the relevant personal information, date of birth, marital status, home address, compensation packages, various leave accruals, per diem rates, and mileage allowances. Issues with HR uncoordinated functions not being coordinated. As discussed previously, in order for the correct amount of deductions for benefits to be taken out of an employee paycheck, accurate information must flow to and from the payroll system. Payroll data and benefits record keeping need to work together. Otherwise, payroll deductions can be wrong. When that happens, employees notice and valuable time is wasted to implement corrections. If different vendors are employed for the payroll and benefits record-keeping function, the small business owner is the one who must ensure that everything is coordinated and running smoothly. This entails fielding calls back and forth from the vendors, while trying to understand the technicalities of the different systems. Consequences. Unnecessary exposure to litigation by employees leading to low morale and high turnover. Also, the possibility of unequal requirements can be realized with little or no documentation. Decisions are left up to the supervisor's discretion. Novata solution. Since data is stored in a single database including payroll data, data errors due to the exchanging of data from one HR process to another is eliminated entirely. The HRMS provides the ability to extract the payroll information for direct submission to the company payroll system. Payroll information is updated when changes for the employee in the centralized integrated database are updated. This concludes the discussion of the 9 critical issues small to medium-sized businesses face in today's market. We appreciate you taking the time to view this presentation. Should you have any questions, please contact our local account representative. Thank you.